Generic greetings. So in the previous episode, we managed to plan out this. This is our very, very, very high capacity prison. In fact, many people have worked it out in the comments that it's going to be close to 800, if not more, prisoners. Now, I'm not entirely sure that's a good idea, mainly because, well, it's just completely stupid. It's not even a good idea. It's not even close to a good idea. It's as far away from a good idea as you can possibly imagine. So I think what we'll probably end up doing is changing the way these things work. For a start, we need to change, these are the dormitories. I'm going to change each one so they have an entrance either side, so we actually get 6 toilets in each one. And that's what several people have said. But I actually think it's probably what it's best to do is to actually split them up. So maybe the top section here, maybe something like this. If I do that, something like that, and we have a wall right at the back, and then we have an entrance like so. We can have multiple ones. It doesn't really matter. This will be like a little bit of a common room. So each area has a common room, and then obviously all of this stuff here. Now that means that I'm going to shift this down by 1 because, well, that just seems like the overall plan. One moment while we get on with this one. So it will need to go something like, hang on, it'll be 1, 2, and then it'll be that. Something like that, and then entrance either side, job done, objects left, and then right, and then, yes, my code is actually getting better, by the way, thank you very much, and there we go. So each room is going to be like that. It's going to be slightly smaller, because I think the prisoners that we had, there'd just be too many, so it would just be totally intolerable, so I think that'll be a better solution. These were supposed to be bunk beds, but we might change that to normal beds as well, because I have been told, and I don't know if this is correct or not, that sometimes you can't have, well, there is a maximum size for dormitory, even though it doesn't say that in the dormitory bit. It just says a variable size room for housing multiple prisoners. The bigger the dormitory, the more prisoners it can house. So there is a maximum size based on, or the maximum capacity based on its size, but it doesn't tell me what that is. It would be nice if it says 1 per 4 blocks or something like that. But either way, it doesn't. So, let's get on with some building. Let's just first go to our grants, and then basic detention centre, then administration centre grant. That's going to give us a little bit of money, and then we're going to go to foundations, and then fences, and then we're going to run a fence from this little area here, all the way down, and then along. And then obviously we'll speed up to max speed while they crack on with that, and then just zip it right up. The reason I'm doing this is because we like to craft from the walls inwards, basically. That's generally the way we do it, because then we know we're not going to miss something out, and there's going to be like, oof, did I become really, really upper class English there? Oof! No, we're not going to miss something off. And what we'll need to do is put the fence around it. Means that if we have a bit of a problem later on or whatever, we know that the fence is there, because undoubtedly I'll forget about it. Won't be getting prisoners this episode, probably not even the next one, but we'll see how we go. Obviously the plan is to get this fence done and then go from there. Workmen, we're going to hire another 2 more or 4 more, I think, get that finished off quite nicely. In the centre, obviously we had these different rooms. I know a couple of people were not a big fan of the way I did that, where I mentioned and said, I'm not going to plan off every single room, and I mentioned it would be nice to be able to do that, but actually there's no way to do it. People have pointed me to a mod, and I have actually used that mod before, where you can plan off the individual rooms, but it's slightly different, because the thing is, what I want to do is be able to go to rooms and basically be able to place these rooms like shower, and be able to go, that's a shower, there you go, right? Like any other room. Hang on, I can do shower. Cells you can't though, right? Yeah, cells you can't. So is shower inside only? No, it just right. That's why that was a really, really bad example. I was going, hang on, is that in the game and I haven't known? No, things like the the yard, for example, which we haven't got, so we have to mess around with that one. There's a couple of rooms we haven't got. Things like the yard you can click and place like that. Now, rooms like the solitary, actually solitary apparently can be outdoors as well. Dormitory, for example, needs to be indoors, right? So you can't place it there, but it'd be good if you could place any room, even if it's red like that, and it would just flash red saying needs to be indoors, because then we don't have to plan everything and then convert it over. That's what I would like. Anyway, let's just get rid of that. I've also got rid of a bit of storage, which I didn't want to do, so we will get on with that one. It sounds like they're moving bags of gold around, but I think, oh no, they're almost there with the stuff at the back. Let's just go to foundations and building brick, and then we want to make this a building here, and it's going to be a fairly big building. There we go. It's going to cost us 24 grand, but we have got a fair amount of money, so there's no big problem there. We've got a large jail door and shove that on. Obviously, this is going to be a building as well, so I might as well go to foundation, building brick as well, and get that one done, because then we've pretty much got the entire area sorted. So we'll go back to our objects, and then to large jail door, spinny, spinny, roundy, roundy, and we'll shove that there. Actually, we need to put it there, really. It needs to be there, technically, because that needs to be foundation, so we might as well do that as well, building brick. There we go. I'm buying a lot of doors, I'm well aware of that, but it doesn't really matter, because I will just dismantle them once they're in, and then obviously I'll be able to move them around and some such. So, there's that one sorted. Yes, these individual rooms I didn't actually plan, I just said, we're probably going to do something like this, and I haven't exactly planned it off yet. I know a couple people weren't a big fan, but they said, no, it makes sense, because, you know, you ended up changing the design a lot of the time anyway, so it sort of makes a little bit more sense, because there's no point in planning off everything meticulously and then actually go, well, no, that doesn't work, it'll be better over there. It truncates you. Making rooms that you know you can change around a little bit, like these rooms are all sort of universal, or sort of generic, if you will, sizes. This could be a chapel, or it could be a library. It's pretty much the right size for either of those things. Probably doing it that way is a fine way of doing it, no problem at all, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, we'll see how this one goes when they've finished off. Are they going to finally... There we go. There's the room all sorted. So I need to dismantle a couple of doors. I'm going to dismantle both of these for now. I just want one on the outside. So that's a fairly big building, as you can see. Let's just go to our materials, and then brick wall, and then clicky, clicky, draggy, draggy all the way around here, and then sort this out. So we need to go to there. There's that done, and then we'll get this one sorted as well. So this is going to be the administration centre area, because I want to get that grant done, because obviously you get a bit of money doing that, which is all good. So let's just go to rooms, and then to office, and then clicky, clicky, draggy, draggy for all of these things. And there we go. Obviously, slight problem is that if this office is going to be, say, the psychologist, then... we can't, we're originally going to have to connect it to outside, so what we'll have to do is make this room, one of these rooms, the infirmary, but it's not a real problem. We'll see how that one goes. As I said, we'll go to we don't really need a staff door, we just need any door. We don't need any door at all, actually. These things, I don't think they need to be enclosed. No, they don't. They just need to be indoors in a minimum size, so we don't need to do this, but we are going to crack on with it. The reason I'm furnishing all of them is because it would be, actually, it's probably not, it doesn't really matter which way I do this. I tend to furnish them first, and then go from there. I will put a filing cabinet on the back, because it doesn't cost no money really to get them all completely done. I'm sure someone's done the maths in the comments, but it doesn't really matter that much. Let's just go to staff and then warden. The only reason, obviously, we've got the money warden. There's a nice Polaroid there. Look, there you go. The warden just sitting away. Looks like there's been a sex change between that picture and her there, or the other way around. I have no idea. Either way, let's just go to prison or bureaucracy, and then we need to unlock finance, and then we'll also unlock health as well. So there we go. So there's that one sorted. 16,000 and a bit change. Let's just go to our, I think, materials, and then brick wall, and then we'll clicky, clicky, draggy, draggy on most of these. Now, obviously, that's going to break up that. What I'll do, I'll make sure that we can still get workmen in between the back areas here, so otherwise it'll just say you can't go there, and we'll have major problems. Where was the power going to go? The power was going to go, I believe, in one of these corners here. I was going to say power there and power there, because we're going to need that. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. I guess because this is a workshop, we are going to need two power areas. So this will be power, this will be power, and then this one, for example, it's not going to be exactly like this. We'll power everything up there and the workshop, and then this one down here will power everything down here and the canteen and centre. That's generally the load balancing we're going to follow. So, again, we'll see how that one goes. A lot of people have mentioned about the idea of actually collecting money from the prisoners, basically by looking for contraband, and saying that's quite a good idea, quite interesting. People are alright with it, so I'm glad. I am happy that's okay. Let's just go for, I was going to say an accountant, but we can't get one just yet. 5 grand for the administration centre grant, but we're nowhere near that yet. I think what we'll do, we'll plan this off here as being, if we just dismantle that door, as being a psychologist's area. So what we'll do, we'll say ding-a-ling, there we go. We can actually now hire, I believe, a warden. Nope. Accountant, there it is. And typically, it went to... it went to the room where I didn't want them to go. This is why I normally, like I said, don't necessarily build everything in first time. But if I do, normally I don't designate them. Right, okay, so... There's that grant done, which means we can go to bureaucracy and we can go for a extra grant, which only costs us 500 for an extra grant, which is cool. That's pretty good. We'll go for brick wall, then we're going to put a brick wall in there, and then we want to put a brick wall in there, like so, right? Because that's going to be the morgue, you see. And then obviously we need to go to our rooms and we need to put in I think a standard door will be fine. As I've mentioned earlier, I'm not particularly bothered about the security arrangements in this place. The idea is that people can steal as much as they want. But when we find the contraband, we get paid. What happens is you actually find the person from it. That's what happens. And that's why we're doing this, because, well, it's an interesting thing to do. And also, excuse me, I thought it would be, hang on, 1, 2, 3, and so up there. I just think it would be a fun thing to do. Right, so we're researching health, which means this will be all sorted in a moment. We've got foundation, building brick, and then we need to put in that building there, like so. And then we will put an entrance to it in... Actually, we'll put it there. Right, so the idea is that you can only get it in through the staff room, which isn't ideal, far from it, but you know it's what we have. So what we've got going. So we've got 73% on the health, extra grant we are getting there. Obviously 10 grand for the basic detention centre grant. We need holding cell, we need showers, we need yards, kitchens, etc. I think this is going to be the yard. I'm probably going to swap this down and make a yard in there, but we'll have to see how this one goes. We'll go to utilities and then to a power block, and then we're going to shove a big brick of power about there, and then to a water pump about there. Now, as I guess people have mentioned, let me just pause that for a moment. We can probably cancel that because there's no point in that being that long. No point in it being that long at all. So let's change this out a bit. Let's put that there and a water pump there. All right, and then capacitors like so. All right, because there's no real reason to have that size, like that long. So what I can do is cut that down and then have a bigger area for something else. Okay, so ding-a-ling noise there means that bureaucracy is completed on both bits. So we now got health and whatnot. So it means we can actually go for, I think we'll go for probably long-term investment's quite good, but I don't know if we'll get that. Inmate well-being, and we'll go for a short-term grant, okay? Looks like we've got some power now, which is good. And we'll go for a... Let's have a quick look here. We've got that unlocked. We need to unlock psychology because we need that grant as well. We'll go for rooms and then for a infirmary. There's 1 unit of infirmary. Obviously, we need a mortgages on the side as well. And then we'll put some slab of morgings right there. Obviously, medical bed as well. We need to shove in. I will put 1 in for now just to fulfill the requirements of the grant. And then we'll hire 2 units of doctor. That is that grant there. We need to build a medical ward. That'll be done in a moment. Hire a psychologist, which will be done in a little bit of time. Let's just go to utilities and then electrical cable. What we're going to do is run an electrical cable up into this area here. Obviously, this will be pretty much done. Well, this will be a building once we're finished with it. Let's just run the cable like so, and then up, and then down like that as well, okay? And then we'll connect it up there, and obviously we can run it into that building, and then we need to connect it up to these ones as well. But that's okay. That should be fine. The reason I'm doing that is because I know as soon as I put this block in the center, which is like staff room and other things, that will immediately stop the power getting up one way. If I do it on the bottom, we won't get power to the top, and vice versa. So obviously doing it like that is future-proofing it without spending a great deal of money. So how are we doing for said money? Not great. 9 grand, just under 9 grand. They're generic units of currency stroke generic credits. 61% on the psychology there. So we've got another grant to get once we've done the inmate health and well-being. We've got a nutritional research. It's in here somewhere. Obviously, tool cleanup, things like that we really want to do as fast as possible. We've only completed 1 of them. The short-term investment will take quite a while. I don't know which grant I will get, but we'll see how this one goes. We've just got utilities here, electrical cable. We need to run electrical cable into about there. That should hopefully power this entire area up, although what I probably should do is cancel it. Think ahead just a little bit, because we know for a fact that we're going to be running a cable outside here and then along to power up each individual cell block, you see. So it's probably worth me running it like that, because that's in the center, you see, and like that. And while they're doing that, I'm going to plan this one out. I believe it was 27 by 17, which is exactly what it is. Good grief, good memory as well. 27 by 17, and then there's a gap of 2, and then it is, I'm going to say by, I have no idea. I'm going to say by 13, but I don't think that is the case at all. 12. Okay, one off. You can forgive me just one. I'm not. I'm going to get crucified for that, surely. Especially when I do that. Right, let's just cut that off. And then we'll go for 27 by 17. Cut that off there as well. And that bit there. And then, again, we've got another building that's like... it's sort of security and solitary and such. That was the rough idea, but again, I left it down to yourself to let me know in the comments whether you think we should change that or not. Most people, or there was no disagreements, so I assume that's going to be right. This should be 27 by 17, which is exactly what it is. That means that we've measured that off right, and I can't believe it. So anyway, we've done, I don't believe it, he said. Right, so that is electrical cable still planned, and then we'll unpause it, and they can crack on with that. Okay. So, in terms of the front, I know a couple of people have been mentioning about contraband, and they were saying, well, because of the design and the way we want to do things, is that grant done? It is that grant done, or rather, it's the research done, so we can hire 1 unit of psychologists, there we go. That gets that grant done, then I'm going to fire a doctor, there we go. Because I don't need 2 doctors sitting around, and I'm probably not going to have 2 doctors anyway, not for a long time. So that is a fair bit of money there. Let's just go to reports, and we'll probably go for staff wellbeing initiative, because it's quite easy to do, and you can do it when there's not prisoners inside. So this is going to be a staff room. Start on the centre buildings. There we go. We need at least 5 guards. Not doing anything. Now, I know that's going to cost me money to keep the guards there, but not a great deal of money. How much are they per day? 100 a day. Actually, it's going to cost me 500 a day. Wow, okay. I mean, I knew that was the case, but it didn't really click for some reason. Brain didn't go, you know, that's going to cost you. Yes, it is, actually. Ah, well, I'm not really too bothered. Let's go for a drinks room and a wide sofa you need in this one. You need wide sofas, so put a wide sofa in like so. There we go. That's just a basic staff room there. And once that's done, we should get another 10 grand, which is pretty good. We could fire them guards if we want to, but there's no point. That grant is now done. We'll go for a long-term investment, because I think it's about time we get on with that one. So, what do we need now? What was I saying anyway? I was saying something about words and numbers and things like that. Can't remember. It'll come to me later on. Right, okay, so wait for funds, quite a bit of time there. We need to do the detention centre, so it's holding cell, showers, yards, kitchens, canteens, at least 2 cooks. So we need to get that room done first, so building brick, and it's going to be pretty much all the money I have, which is not going to be good. Insufficient funds to even make that. That ain't great. Okay, what I'm going to do then is a bit of a test. I want to get this thing done here. So there we go. And by the way, that says holding cell. What we're going to have to do is check to see if we can actually get... I don't think the grant can be done with a dormitory like we're doing, so we're going to have to make a couple of holding cells, or 1, just to have that basic detention centre grant done, and then go from there. That is 17 there, so there is actually a centre of 8, like that. So that's technically the centre there. What I'm going to do instead is put... 1 door would be silly. 1 door would be absolutely daft. So if we go for 4 off, and then a door there. 4 off, and then a door there. That is roughly centralised, so that'll have to do. Okay, so, there we go. 2 large jail doors. There we go. I think I was talking about the contraband, and many people were saying, oh, well, what you need to do is you need to get the prisoners in and not search them, have no metal detectors whatsoever, at all, and then do shakedowns every night. Now, I like that idea because it seems to fit with the whole very strict charge you for... It just seems to fit the theme very well, what we're going for, like a strict regime, ones where if you get found with anything, then you get fined and all that sort of thing. But, it means doing a shakedown every couple of nights. And if you're just letting people walk out with tunneling equipment from the workshop and things like that, it's not going to go overly well for you, I think. So what's probably best is if we have a couple of metal detectors, probably not on the cell blocks because I can't really, I think it's going to be a lot. I mean, that's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 metal detectors. Hang on, 2, 4. Oh yeah, 4, 8, 12, 16, 32 metal detectors just on the cell blocks alone. That's unsustainable, so we can't do that. We're not going to be doing that. What we'll do instead, we'll just power this cable down like that, is have it on just, say, the inside of this area here. So that's probably what we'll end up doing. Right, okay, so this is going to be our dormitory, as I said. So let's just see if we can sort that out. Actually, we need to work out just what size the bit at the back was. It was 7 from the edge of the wall. So it is 7 from the edge of the wall, which makes it there, which makes that about right. There will be an entrance there. We don't need a big entrance at all. Although we could, if we wanted to, just have an entrance there and there. That makes a little bit more sense, doesn't it? Because then, obviously, you can go in there. That's fine. That's what we're going to go for. We'll go for a bit of the old brick wall. So we'll clicky, clicky, draggy, draggy all the way to the end there. And that'll be our back bit. Obviously, we also need to put in the central part, which is going to be 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 off the wall. So it'll be 7 off the wall there. And then it'll be like so. And then it'll be that, I believe. That looks about right to me, but... It'll be that for the beds. Yeah, that seems about right to me. Okay, so we might as well crack on with that. Materials, brick wall again, all the way along. There we are. I think I've got most of the comments that people have mentioned. I can't think. I don't think I've forgotten anything. I'm sure I have. And all the people saying, oh, you should go for the 800, that'll be fun. Yeah, for about 5 seconds until it all breaks. That's what a Fight Club episode's for. Remember, we're not trying to make a crap prison, although that's generally what I am doing. I'm trying to make something that will function. So there's a dormitory. It needs to be surrounded by doors and, ooh. It's not enclosed. This is going to be problematic. If I put doors on this, it might class that as a separate room. There's only one way to find out, isn't there? It was probably these, actually. Not them. Theirs got doors. That doesn't need doors, just these two. Once that one's in, we'll see what happens. 7 grand remaining. Yeah, there we go. We're fine there. Excellent. Let me just run a bit more cable down. Might as well just run it in. There we go. Right, so yes, you can see it now. It says surrounded. So bunk beds and toilets and stuff. So let's just go for our objects. Toilets. Done. Done. Okay. Obviously not as many toilets as I really need. I know a couple of people have mentioned that. I'm aware. I might change it at some point. We'll see. Let's just drag this up to that side. And then a small pipe. Run it down. Then across. And there we go. There's that connected up. So... There's all the toilets and stuff connected up. We do need to put in beds and bunk beds, so we'll sort that out now. So we're going to go for bunk bed. How many can it have? I have no idea. Let me just quickly go to planning and walls. No, actually, we'll do objects because that's what they're going to be. Okay, bunk bed, 500 each. Didn't really account for that. There's 2. Like I say, it doesn't say, it says room requirements, but it doesn't say the maximum size. Oh dear, oh dear. So we might have to change that around. I'm sure there will be somewhere on a wiki or whatever, or maybe even in the patch notes or whatever. I'm sure it'll say somewhere that this might be too small or too big or whatever. Either way, it should show you in game. And maybe it does. Maybe I'm just being daft. I normally fall back on the fact that I'm missing something, because it generally always is. But variable size room for multiple prisoners. Bigger the dormitory, the more prisoners can house. Room requirements, minimum size, enclosed indoors, bunk bed, stroke beds, all the other way around. Toilet. No. So it doesn't tell me there, so I don't know where it would tell me. Either way, we are going to leave it there. That has been actually a fairly fairly decent bit of compressed building there. We've got a couple of grants done, several grants done, in fact. Short-term investment, long-term investments running. What I'll do is I'll just run the game until those 2 grants are finished, and then we will go from there next episode. As always, comments in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.